the US, EU, and major powers in the Middle East, including Saudi Arabia and Qatar, have proposed a 3-week ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon. The plan is part of a bid to clear the way for negotiations and avert an all-out war in the region. Israel began bombarding southern Lebanon and the Bekaa Valley on Monday, saying it is targeting Hezbollah sites. Lebanese officials say more than 600 people have been killed so far, including at least 50 children, and Israel's UN envoy, Danny Danon, says his country prefers a diplomatic solution with Hezbollah, while Lebanon's Prime Minister, Najib Mikati, called for the immediate withdrawal of Israeli military from Lebanon and Gaza.
I would like to see a ceasefire and the return home of Israelis to the homes in the north and southern Lebanese to their homes in southern Lebanon. That's what we all want to achieve. It will happen either after a war or before a war. We hope it will be before.
So for more on this, let's bring in Bloomberg's Paul Wallace. He leads our MENA economy and government coverage, of course. Paul, first of all, just give us the details on what this ceasefire proposal contains and how the reaction is likely to be coming from Israel and Lebanon.
Hi, Jemana. Well, there certainly was a big step up in diplomatic efforts yesterday from world powers to de-escalate the situation and to prevent an all-out war between Israel and Hezbollah and to prevent an Israeli ground offensive into southern Lebanon. Beyond the proposal for a 3-week ceasefire, we don't know much. Of course, Danny Danon there was sort of spelling out how, as far as Israel is concerned, its citizens who have been displaced from the north of Israel, the tens of thousands of them, must be allowed to return. That is what this whole escalation in hostilities from Israel has been about. At least that's what the Israeli government is arguing. It needs to allow its citizens to get back home. They had to evacuate very soon after the Israel-Hamas war erupted in Gaza almost a year ago. But we haven't seen any sign yet from Hezbollah that it's willing to accept this proposal. One thing that I think is quite clear is that something will have to be given to Hezbollah, some kind of political concession to allow it to save face, because it's quite difficult to see Hezbollah agreeing to move back its forces from the Israeli border and to stop firing on Israel unless it gets something in return. Israel hasn't said what it might give it, and at the moment it's continuing to pound Lebanon pretty hard with its bombardment, and it seems to think that it can use military force alone to force Hezbollah back.
I guess the question here is, and you touched on it, whether Hezbollah is open to the ceasefire, but equally whether Israel is also open to the ceasefire, given their stated war objective, which is to return stability back to the north. If they accept the ceasefire terms now, what does that do about restoring stability to northern Israel more long-term?
That's a big question, and I think even if there is a ceasefire, and even if it ends up being a lot longer than 21 days, there's still going to be a mass of underlying issues that Hezbollah needs to resolve with Israel, and Lebanon as a sovereign state with Israel too. However, I think if both sides agreed to a ceasefire as long as 3 weeks, there would be a massive sigh of relief in Washington, in Paris, in London, here where I am in the UAE and elsewhere. I think the main focus is just to prevent this all-out war that we are so close to at the moment. Although hostilities have obviously ramped up hugely in the last week, they could get even worse if Israel decides it needs to send troops into Lebanon.